think I'm buying into your stories, the joke's on you. See, that's what's crazy. The joke's on you. Angels, welcome back to my channel. Hello guys, for those of you that are new, hi, my name is Asha. Very nice to meet you. I want to just jump right on into this topic, but before then, of course, you guys know the routine by now. To follow me on Instagram, that'll be right here, of course. And also, do not forget to subscribe to this channel to become a part of the A-team. And also, do not forget to turn on your post notifications so that you're notified every single time that I post. Also, I just want to say briefly, thank you guys so much for all of your encouraging words and everything. I couldn't believe that I was creator on the rise. It absolutely blew my mind. I couldn't even imagine of having an opportunity like that. So thank you guys so much for all of your congratulations and all of those things. And let's just jump right into this video. Okay, so this is a very crucial video. Why do we fall for players? This definitely needs to be discussed. Well, firstly, we fall for players because players tend to be what? Charismatic, they could be good looking, or maybe you think they have a lot of money, or you genuinely just like their personality. Whatever the thing is, because you don't even have to have all these things per se to even be a player, really, by a man's rules. But we fall for them. I find that players like to create an illusion that you are the only one in their life. I mean, that's really the purpose, right? And a lot of the times, guys that are not monogamous, right, they tend to run on the justification of, well, I never said you were my girlfriend, so you can't technically be mad at this. And unfortunately, that technicality is true, but that's why it's so important to understand what place you have in that man's life, and that place needs to be girlfriend. That is the only way they can be held accountable for their actions of stepping outside of you guys' relationship. Otherwise, it doesn't matter how long you've been with the person. It doesn't matter where they've taken you. You're not their girlfriend. So they can technically do whatever you want, and you get fooled, right? Because when you're with this person, everything feels so good and you guys just like being around each other, and it's been X amount of time. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. Players like to send mixed signals. That's why you're confused. Please take this from me. Please, if you take nothing else from this video, if you are confused, it's for a reason. No man that wants you in their life is going to leave you confused. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. If you are going home and you're taking inventory of his actions, the answer is no. Because if it's not a yes, it can only be a no. There is no such thing as maybe. Because if you take the place of a maybe, you become a placeholder. Placeholders do maybes. Desperate girls for relationships do maybes. You deserve way more than that. When someone gives you mixed signals, it almost sends a subconscious message to our brains as women, where we start to want to draw closer to that person because we're just like, no, like, let me try and get a definite answer out of this situation, because I need to get to the bottom of this, because why are things just like not making sense? You know, I've struggled with this myself in my life, where things may not have made sense to me, and all it does is make me want to figure it out more. So what do? You stick around longer. You see, what you can do to try and make things change. You try to gauge, like, if they really meant what they said, if they, if their actions are aligning with their words. And I find that all to be just too much work if the answer was simply yes. A lot of the times players don't want to talk about anything relationship related, right? They like to keep everything surfacey and very light. They like to keep the conversation light. If you want to bring up something of substance, oh, I was, wondering, like kind of like what we are. I mean, why don't we just see where things go? Like, why do we have to rush to do any of this stuff? Take this from this video. If you don't take anything from this video, aside from me giving my advice on being confused, if the answer is not yes, the answer is no. That's it. There's no way around it. And the reason why players succeed so well is because naturally, what? Men are master compartmentalizers. This means they can juggle the girl that they like a little bit and keep them in their corner. They can juggle the girl that's been around for like 10 years that they refuse to let go, and they do all the boyfriend things with this girl, but won't claim this girl. What is that about? For us as women, it's very difficult for us to try and process that, because we think, okay, if he's with this girl and they're doing this, and, you know, they may be going away together, or he probably met her family, or I don't know, like she has like things in his home, whatever the case is, naturally we think, oh, he's serious about her. But to a man, it could just be, you know, out of all the girls that I sample in between you and while I'm with you, I like you as well. I like you a lot. You know, we have a history for whatever the case is, and I will do things for you because I do care about you, but it's not enough to really actually want to be with you. You know, I'll show up if you call me. I do actually genuinely care, but not enough to actually make you my girlfriend. You're good enough for me to keep on the side. You're good enough for me to pick up when you call. You're good enough for me to help you out of certain situations, but not good enough to be my girlfriend. Wow. Now, I think that's the worst position of them all, you know, and that's the worst place to be put in by a player, because this girl now knows all the things that you do. She's okay with it. And then on top of that, you send mixed signals. Now, what normal stereotypical female would settle for something like that? Where it's like, I'm so secure in the fact that I have this opportunity with this person and I have this much access to this person, but I'm not even their girlfriend. Or at least, girl, that's what your man is telling everybody else, that you're not his girlfriend. Whoa. Is it worth the disrespect of not even being claimed? You tell me. You know, in turn, with the guy that sends mixed signals, it makes you want to yes him to death and just be the fun girl, be the lighthearted girl. You know, since the conversation is always so light, nothing is really too much in depth. It just makes you want to just, okay, be the picture perfect person that we kind of view them to want. And then maybe that'll draw him in. At the end of the day, players like to have their cake and eat it too. And they omit tons of information because they don't find it useful to tell you, of course, because they think, or they probably know as well, okay, if I tell this girl the truth, she probably will not stay. And that's not okay with them, because it's like, man, I don't want to lose this girl and this girl. I don't want to have to start all over again with whatever I'm doing. So I might as well just omit information. Like, for instance, I asked this guy, knowing already, because you know us as women, we are not going to ask you a question that we don't already have the answer to. So I literally asked him, hey, what did you do on Valentine's Day? I already knew. He tells me, oh, I spent time with, you know, my family, my kids. No, he did not spend time with his family and his kids. He was with another girl, and he literally lied to me about it and looked at me dead in my face when he said it. Imagine that, right? Because in his eyes, he thinks it's justifiable because he didn't lie about where he was. He lied about who he was with. So to him, he feels like, I mean, I didn't really actually lie. And also, if I told her the truth, how might she perceive that? If you are such a stand-up person and you're such a good guy, then why don't you just tell the truth? You know, I date, you know, and I ended up going on a date with, you know, this girl, whatever the case is. What am I going to do? Flip out and be like, oh my God, I can't believe you went on a date with this other girl. Are you crazy? What am I going to do? Like, I don't, why are you lying? I don't trust you. You're pathetic. And honestly, I don't need your situation. Like, I don't. Bye. You know, watch out for situations like that. Please, please. I'm just trying to help somebody, anybody. Back to what I was saying about players enjoying having their cake and eating it too. In order to avoid coming across as a jerk, because there's multiple different types of players. There are players that are genuinely nice guys, but they just want to play the game. And then there's guys that are just jerks and they're actual players, right? Now, the guy that's not a jerk, that probably really does care for this person will do all the boyfriend things for this girl. And basically, you would assume from the outside looking in that that's definitely this girl's boyfriend. But in reality, it's really not. And guys find themselves in that type of position quite often because naturally, if you spend a lot of time with someone, you do tend to grow feelings for them, but it's still not enough to make you want to lock it down. And I think that that's probably the worst position, like I stated before, to be in, where you're just in limbo. You got this guy lying on you, saying he's not with you. You got this guy sending you, mixed signals. And not for nothing, you know all of these things. You may or may not be knowledgeable of all of these things. And, now what? Like, what really are your options? What are you actually gaining from this besides samples of fun and entertainment? I have a serious pet peeve for creating memories with people that are wasting my time. I mean, specifically in terms of relationships with guys. If you know that your intentions with me are not genuinely pure and you're trying to run some sort of game over me, you would have thought, right? I'm going to get upset because you're wasting my time. And I don't like to waste my time. Time is something you cannot get back. So save me all the antics, the I care about yous, the I think you're great, I think you're special. Words of affirmation, right? Players like to do this too. Tell you everything you want to hear. That's what they're good at. Especially the more experienced the guy is, the older he is, and the younger you are. They like to run the game on you. They know exactly what to say, to play into your emotions, to keep you exactly where they want you to be. Period. Players tend to make you feel like you are overthinking things, right? They always want you to think, oh, stop. Oh, no, that's not what I'm thinking. Oh, that's not what it is. Oh, this, oh, that. Oh, save me with your lies and deceit because you thought you were going somewhere, but you were going nowhere real fast, right? All over again. So here's the thing. You have to really have a keen eye and a keen sense. And when you step into a relationship with a man or you're dating someone, you need to have a goal and stay focused on that goal and don't lose sight of it until you get it. That's the only way to really win. Because a guy's first goal is not initially to just be with you. A guy's first goal is, how long do I have to wait? What do I have to invest to get to sleep with this girl? That's their number one goal. So you need to have a goal so that you don't end up making mistakes and so that you don't fall prey to guys that are players. Because when all is said and done and you look at logic and you take inventory of actions versus words, inconsistency, things that he chooses to blow up versus things that he tends to just roll over, that speaks volumes. You have to read between the lines. And the simple fact that you even have to read between the lines is just a simple indication that you are being played. In fact, you are being played. There's no two ways about it. I think another thing that tends to attract us to players and why we fall for them is because they feel just out of our reach. And for some reason, I don't know, in our subconscious, it gravitates us to that person even more. Everybody wants what they can't have, or every girl wants to tie the guy down or get the guy, because men win women with sex, women win men with relationships. But that just brings me to my point. If you don't have the relationship, then how have you necessarily won? What are you doing? You see, when you're young and you have all this time to gain experience and to waste, you don't have that option in your late 20s when you want to start settling down, or if you want to start settling down and looking for someone serious. So if you are having these patterns and entering into these situations, experiencing things like this at, 30, 32, 33, you're in some hot water then. You're definitely in some hot water. I also just want to note, right? And this applies to me. Life is going to teach you the same lesson over and over again until you've actually learned from it. So if you find yourself questioning yourselves, oh my God, I just don't understand how I keep on ending up in situations with these guys that are just always playing me and they're always just disrespecting me and all of these things. It's because you haven't learned yet. You didn't take inventory of your mistakes and make sure to not make them again. You didn't believe this person's patterns. You just took their words. Let me tell you something, another major point to take from this video. Words are cheap. I don't care how much you get over complimented, how pretty you are, or even if, let's say, you know that you're kind of in a little competition with the other girl and you know, listen, that girl is literally a joke because first of all, look at her and look at me. You know, girls tend to do that. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to the guy because obviously that girl that he's keeping around, he has some sort of interest in her to keep her around. It doesn't matter if he doesn't want to be with her or not. She's still there and she loves her complacent place. She loves being a seat warmer, you know? And that makes it difficult for girls like us who don't accept those types of relationships and actually want something that's solid, and you have to deal with people that have soul ties and situationships with placeholders and benchwarming girls. You know, you see how that works? So I would eliminate myself completely from situations like that because to me, that girl's always going to be there and she's always going to be just waiting, you know, till you leave, till the next chick comes in. Like, she just doesn't care. And I don't really understand people like that. And even if I did, I wouldn't even ever make that mistake. You know, different strokes for different folks. But yeah, listen, players and men really can separate their emotions exceptionally well, right? When you have the makeup of a man, right? Master compartmentalizing, emotional detachment. That is just a fabulous recipe for just running through the town, don't you think? You don't catch feelings easily. And that's why it's hard for guys to let women go once they kind of hold a special place in their heart. It may not even be like I'm stressing to you guys, like this person wants to sail off into the sunset and marry this person. But it doesn't take away from the fact that he still cares for this person. And you have to make the decision of whether or not you're willing to accept a circumstance like that. And I'm betting you that you're not, right? So it's kind of like, why enter it in the beginning anyway? And I don't know about you guys, but I'm the type of person where I do tend to think about how I get into a situation because I believe that's how you get out of it, right? So if I look at some guys, you know, ex, and I'm like, I wonder how they broke up or whatever the situation is, I do tend to like judge him by that situation. So to me, I was dealing with this guy before and he was dealing with this girl for so long and she knew this person wasn't exclusive to him or whatever the case is. And he lies about it all the time, basically, or omits information, but he can go do whatever it is else that he wants to do. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And I think that when we start to blur the lines or when guys make moves like that, they want to blame you for your reactions on how you react to certain things and, you know, tell you what you don't have the right to do and all of these things. And it's just really interesting because not all men are bad. I genuinely don't believe that. There are many good men on this earth, ladies. I'm not preaching to hate men. That's not my MO here at all. But there are certain times where men will put you in positions where you may react and then try to pin it on you. Oh, I cannot believe you would do something like that, whatever the case is. And it's kind of like, okay, says the liar, says the manipulator, says the player. And I'm supposed to trust your character. And you're questioning mine. Half of the things that I already know, you've lied to me about, that I've asked you a question about. You want me to trust you. And you think I'm buying into your stories? The joke's on you. See, that's what's crazy. The joke's on you. Play with fire if you want to. Play with fire if you want to. You know, I was reading a quote and it said, people will explain to you different versions of myself. Now, I'm not sure if this exactly speaks to me, but I think it definitely does speak for many of us, right? People may explain to you a version of, you know, a person being very sweet. And the quote said, believe them. And then people may explain a version of a person that, you know, this person's like the meanest person on earth. And then the quote said, believe that too. Because basically what the quote's trying to explain is, I act accordingly based on the situation. I think that speaks volumes for a lot of us. So how do you avoid falling for a player? Here's the first thing. Do not let your guard down. You are single until you are claimed. You do not zero in and focus on any one man alone until he has given you that same respect. Figure out his situation. Because a lot of the times, guys always have some sort of lingering bed bug or lingering woman in their life that they may, you know, be lying to and creating a whole story, you know, too, because a liar's a liar. If someone's lying to me, I know they're lying to the person that, you know, they're with, because you just don't really have that much of a moral structure as you think you do. You're not really as smart as you think you are. And yeah, women are naturally very cunning. We wouldn't have to activate that if it wasn't being brought out. Guys like to call girls crazy. It's normally guys that are cheaters and players. They want to call girls crazy, but behind every crazy girl is a man that made her that way, right? You feel like you don't owe me telling me the truth, but you feel like I owe you sleeping with you and entertaining you at your convenience and being with you at your convenience. Wake up. You're living in a delusion. Break out of your bubble. It does not work that way. This is why it's important to stay neutral. Believe patterns, study patterns, like almost like it's a project. You gotta kind of view it this way when you're serious about not getting hurt. If you just wanna go with the flow and you're just dating and you don't really care, do what you want. But if you are serious about not getting played, because getting played is not a fun thing. And 9 times out of 10, you feel played because you were only with this person, right? Otherwise, if you're dating other people, he's dating other people, you didn't really get played because you guys are both doing your own thing. But if you are only with this person, you feel played for a reason. You have to believe his patterns, study his actions. Don't get, wooed and swooed and cooed by his compliments and how he fake looks at you. Guys will literally do anything to save themselves. I mean, almost anyone probably would do anything to save themselves. If a guy really wants to paint a certain picture to you, he's going to do just that. I really just wish you angels understood how cheap words actually were. Words are so cheap. So cheap. So don't just listen to whatever he says. Look at what he's doing. Look at his consistency. Look at that and make your judgment. And quite honestly, if you lean into your intuition, you're going to kind of feel such an unsettling feeling, because when something feels right, it feels right for a reason. If something was meant to be, it will flow, it will be easy. It wouldn't be such an inexplicable tug of war between you and this person that you desire, right? I mean, really actually think about that, because I think a lot of the times us as women, we're fighting in our head because that's like the normal thing for girls to do. And we're just like, did he mean that? Who is this? And I found this girl's Instagram, and why did she post this picture? And is she looking at my Instagram? And like, what's going on here? And why, why would she post a caption like that if they were allegedly broken up? And, he told me this story and he never really said that we were exclusive, but I feel like he's my boyfriend whenever he's around me. Any person, any man that makes you feel like that makes you question your position, that makes you question your value, that doesn't just show you that they want you in their life, all they do is tell you they want you in their life, is a waste of time. Please, please listen to my advice. Please. Somebody needs to hear this. Please. And this video is coming, honestly, solely from a lot of my experience. I'm being very transparent. Words are just words. People can pretend to show interest half the time, so you know not to believe someone's words. Just be careful of the mentality of, I want to win. No, this is a competition. I don't care who she thinks she is. She's not going to get him. I'm going to get him. Is it really worth it? Some girls really do have it in them to just fight the good fight. All is fair in love and war, right? But I tend to be the person where I just give up. I'm like, listen, you can have him. Because honestly, he's not really yours. He's for everybody. So I don't need your situation. Like Jordan Wood said, I don't need your situation. So you can continue on with him, believe whatever delusion you want to believe, and I'm going to move on with my life. Another thing that's important to note, you don't want to put yourself in the position of being a bench warmer, a placeholder. You're just keeping the spot warm. You guys share and build these incredible, moments and have this bond. And in the end, sweetie, honey, you are the only one that's going to get hurt. Because in the end, when all is said and done, if he really wanted you, it would be you. If he really wanted you, he would choose you. And he's not choosing you. I don't care what things look like. You have to really start to question, okay, he does this, this, and this for me. But if that's the case, then why is he just not my boyfriend yet? Maybe he just needs time. Maybe he's just really hurt. And I know he's gone through a lot of things in life. No. When men know, they know. When they're sure, they're sure. When they want to choose you, they'll choose you. When they want to take you off the market, they're going to take you off the market. They're not going to play games with your feelings. They're not going to put, they're not going to blame time for the reason. They're not going to do any of those things. It really just chips at your self-esteem when somebody that you probably desire and you gave a fair chance to and you gave your all to doesn't see that value in you. And naturally, you tend to feel like what? You don't feel good enough. It's like, oh my gosh, what more do I have to prove to this person so that they want to be with me? It just doesn't work like that. That's why that method of proving yourself doesn't work with these men. Guys know the difference between a girl that is like a wife type and the girl that they just want to have a one-night stand with. You think they don't know that? Players don't want to mess with the girls that only want the one-night stands because that's not attractive, right? They don't want the girl that everyone had. They want the good girl. And then they want to play with the good girl's feelings and keep the good girl in limbo and tell her how nice she is and how great of a wife she'll be someday. Nonsense. Wasting your time. I'm telling you, these are things that these men do. When you look at the facts, do you really want to be with someone that is unavailable or emotionally unavailable? You can't undo that action for a grown man. You can't make someone emotionally available if they already are not. You can't make someone love you. You can't make someone want to be your boyfriend if they already know they don't want you. And I just want you guys to know that I completely get it. It's hard when you're with someone and you're hanging out with them and you're having a good time and you genuinely do like this person, especially if you actually think this is a nice person. And you just feel so many different emotions of, betrayal and maybe insecurity. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I found out this person was doing all of these other things. And in retrospect, when you look back, it starts to make sense, because it's like, no wonder why he didn't do this, or no wonder why he hid his phone here, or no wonder why he's still on Tinder, or all of these other things. It's just like, to me, once someone lies to me, a man in a relationship, I will never trust them again. It's just so hard for me to trust them again, because if you can lie to me and I'm not even anything with you, we don't have any title, then how do I know that you wouldn't lie to me if we did? Because you have every reason to tell me the truth, because we are nothing. So if we are something, then what? And lastly, if you are dealing with a person like this, you can try and pull this move. If you're dealing with a player and you feel like you fell for a player already, you could try this. Using your absence to create desire and sort of honor in a way. When you just ghost someone completely, it kind of puts the ball back in their court to see, okay, let me see how long it's going to take for this person to contact me, and what are they going to say when they do. So you simply just ghost that person. Just ghost them. Don't even speak to them again. You already have the facts. You already know what they're doing. You're already onto their game. Ghost them. That's it. Then you can gauge, what does this person actually think about me? Does this person actually mean what they say when they say it? Really, absence does make the heart grow fonder. I mean, that's really a total thing. And because of that, as a result, when this person returns back in your life and showers you with temporary affection, it makes you feel extra excited. And now he's got you right where he wants you. It's like, yup, hooked her again. See her in a couple months after this. No. That's the time where you put your foot down and you just end things. Because who even wants to be with someone anyway that didn't even see your value the first time? Because that's just how I think. I feel like if you were like this before and I gave you a fair chance, like, I'm not giving you another chance, really. I might act like I'm probably going to give you another chance, but I'm probably not, really. I mean, it depends on what day you catch me on, if I'm bored enough. Because I feel like, what reason do I have to genuinely believe that you've changed, that you've had a change of heart? More than likely you haven't yet. You're just a liar. Players lie. They have to. You have to lie and omit information in order to be a successful player. You have to, because you're juggling a lot of girls, and all of them feel like they have a special place in your life. And you got to keep that narrative going, right? So angels, that concludes the end of this video. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this topic specifically. I feel like so many of us can definitely relate to this topic of why we fall for players and their games, and, the schemes that they try to run on us, and, the game that they try to run on us. Just don't be a victim of that anymore. Decide today, I'm done. I'm cutting off Tony. I'm cutting off whoever needs to be cut off in my life, because it's not worth my energy anymore. I don't deserve to feel confused. I don't deserve to be played with. I don't deserve to wait around until you make up your mind about how you think I would be an asset to you, or how valuable you think I am. You just don't deserve that. Because if the answer was yes, it would be yes. And otherwise, the answer is no. Okay? So do not forget that I love you and God loves you. And I'll see you, beautiful angels, in my next video. Mwah.